Why Putin offers rare earth metals to United States. White House reveals timing of Trump's meeting with Zelenskyy and terrorist Putin. And how British intelligence defines main characteristic of Russian army after 3 years of the full-scale war. That is news next. Andriy Kovalenko, head of Ukrainian Center for Counter Disinformation, noted that Vladimir Putin started the war against Ukraine with the hope of a quick victory. According to him, this led to a major geopolitical defeat for Russia. Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine, hoping for a lightning victory that would strengthen Russia's position as the leader of the multipolar world. However, his plan did not work out. Instead of consolidation Russia's influence in the international arena, the war was a major defeat that changed the geopolitical landscape. As Andriy Kovalenko noted, after the failure of the so-called special military operation, Russia became even more dependent on China. Now China is dictating its terms, and this is exactly what Zbigniew Brzezinski warned about in his 1997 book, The Grand Chessboard. He warned the West against the possibility of an alliance between Russia and Iran, which would lead to an increase in the influence of these countries on world politics. However, today Russia's relations with China and Iran cannot be called a full-fledged alliance. Ukraine has survived and strengthened its army. Strategic context: unlike Russia, Ukraine has survived, preserving its independence and continuing to fight. Today, Ukraine has one of the strongest armies in the world, making it an important player in the international arena. According to Kovalenko, Russia will sooner or later pay for this war with its own resources. Having lost the ability to wage a long-term confrontation without serious strategic losses, it can no longer compensate for the damage. The seizure of Ukrainian territories will not be legally recognized, and sooner or later Ukraine will regain control of its lands. Kovalenko also noted that Russia, instead of becoming a bridge between China and the West, has become a battleground between the two powers. He emphasized that Putin's statements about rare earth metals for the United States are proof that Russia is no longer an independent player, but has become an economically dependent territory that is actively used by stronger countries. In the end, Russia will sell off its national wealth, as it has already spent all its other resources on the war. This will be its legacy, a country that has gone bankrupt and lost its strategic importance in the international arena. Vladimir Putin has declared Russia's readiness to cooperate with the United States in the extraction of rare earth metals, in particular from deposits located in the occupied territories of Ukraine, which he characterized as so-called new regions. He made these comments during a press conference on February 24th, Russian media reported. On Monday evening, February 24th, terrorist Vladimir Putin held a meeting on the development of the rare earth metals industry in Russia. Putin emphasized that these metals are critical for microelectronics, energy and digital economy, as well as for the civilian and defense sectors of Russia. He believes that the development of this industry will help strengthen Russia's economy. In addition, Putin ordered to increase in the potential of the Russian industry in the production of new materials. In particular, he emphasized the need to create a full cycle of the rare earth industry, from mining and processing to the production of high-tech goods with high added value. A meeting is expected between US President Donald Trump, Russian dictator Vladimir Putin, and Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelenskyy. This could take place in the coming days, the Fox News reports, citing the White House Press Secretary Karolina Leavitt. The United States expects President Donald Trump to soon hold meetings with Putin and Zelenskyy. Leavitt said, "We expect this meeting to take place very soon, especially the meeting with President Zelenskyy." The White House press secretary also noted that Trump is eager for the signing of an agreement between Kyiv and Washington regarding rare earth metals. Leavitt mentioned that Trump expects President Zelenskyy to sign the agreement, considering it the right step given the assistance that US taxpayers have provided to Ukraine. Quote, "If there were not for the American people, Ukraine wouldn't be a country anymore. President Trump knows that," the White House press secretary emphasized. After 3 years of the full-scale war, Russia's land forces have been radically altered. Russia is now reliant on mass overquality to prosecute operations against Ukraine, according to the UK Ministry of Defense. Pre-invasion attempts to build a modern professional force capable of carrying out complex operations have been reversed by substantial losses.
Russia's personnel casualties of over 860,000 killed and wounded have undermined Russia's force quality. Most personnel currently serving in the Russian military have received minimal training, and Russian commanders use basic tactics to make advances despite the associated high casualty rates.
According to British intelligence, Russia has lost at least 3,750 main battle tanks and 8,400 armored vehicles. Large stockpiles of tanks and armored vehicles, a legacy of the Soviet Union, have been the only means for Russia to be able to replenish these major losses.
Despite the costs imposed on its land forces, the Russian forces have been able to impose constant pressure on Ukrainian defenses. Russian territorial advances in Ukraine accelerated through 2024, although have slowed in early 2025. Continued attacks have been underpinned by the Russian leadership's tolerance for casualties and Russia's land forces' quantitative overmatch relative to the Ukrainian armed forces.
January 2025 became the second most costly month of the war for Russia, with a total of 48,240 casualties, killed and wounded. January 2025 also saw the second highest daily losses for Russia in the war against Ukraine, with 1,556 people lost on average. That's all for today. Thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe.